OpenAI just dropped something that nobody expected, and honestly, the whole tech world is still trying to figure out what this means. We are talking about a brand new audio model launching in Q1 2026, which is literally just weeks away now. And this model can do something current AI systems cannot do. It can speak while you are talking. It handles stops in conversation like a real person, and it sounds way more natural than anything else out there. But here's the crazy part. This isn't just a software update. OpenAI is entering the hardware game with Jony Ive, the guy who designed the iPhone, leading the entire effort. They paid $6.5 billion for his company, and they are building a whole family of audio first devices that are supposed to help us get away from screens. So let's talk about it. Alright, so the first thing to understand is that this audio model is coming really soon. OpenAI wants to release it by the end of March 2026 according to the information. That's around 12 weeks away. And the improvements over their current system are actually huge. The new model uses a completely different setup inside. Instead of the regular voice system that ChatGPT uses right now, this one runs on a brand new design. OpenAI hasn't said exactly what the design is, but people who have seen it say the responses sound way more natural and have real emotion in them. The answers are also deeper and more accurate compared to what the current models give you. And here is where it gets interesting. Today's voice AI systems, including ChatGPT's current audio model, cannot speak at the same time you are speaking. They wait for you to finish, then they respond. That's called turn-based conversation. It feels robotic because real humans don't talk like that. Real people cut in, they overlap, they respond before you even finish your sentence. The new OpenAI audio model fixes that. It can speak while you are still talking. It handles stops in the middle of conversation without losing track. It knows when you paused because you are thinking versus when you were actually finished. That's a massive technical jump because it means the AI has to understand timing, tone, and intent all at the same time while still generating its own speech. Now, OpenAI combined several different over the past 2 months to make this happen. They brought together engineering, product, and research groups that were working separately before. The whole effort is led by Kundan Kumar, who used to work at Character.ai before joining OpenAI. Character.ai is another AI company that focuses on conversation and personality. So Kumar knows how to build systems that feel human. And OpenAI clearly wants their audio model to feel as close to a real conversation partner as possible. The thing is, OpenAI's current voice models are already pretty good, but they are still slower and less accurate than the text-based models like GPT-4 or GPT-5. Text models have had way more time to improve. Audio models are catching up now, and this new release is supposed to close that gap. According to sources who talk to the information, the new audio model will be faster, more accurate, and way better at handling complex back and forth conversations. That means fewer mistakes, fewer word pauses, and responses that actually make sense in context. Here is the thing though. This audio model isn't just for ChatGPT. It's being built specifically to power OpenAI's first hardware devices. And that's where things get really wild. Because back in May 2025, OpenAI bought Jony Ive's company called IO. The deal was worth $6.5 billion. That's OpenAI's biggest purchase ever. And this wasn't just about money. It was about getting Jony Ive himself. Ive is the designer who created the iPhone, the iPad, and the iPod. Basically, every iconic Apple product. He left Apple a few years ago and started his own design firm called Love Firm. Then he created IO to build AI hardware products, and now he is working directly with OpenAI. When the deal was announced, Sam Altman, OpenAI CEO, posted on X saying Ive is the greatest designer in the world and that they are going to create a new generation of AI-powered computers. Ive said everything he learned over the past 30 years led him to this moment, and he mentioned that the first device they are working on has completely captured his imagination. That's a big statement coming from someone who literally designed the iPhone. So what are they building? According to multiple reports, the first device is going to be audio-based. No screen, just voice interaction. Some rumors say it's shaped like a pen. Others say it's a small two-way audio device you can carry around. OpenAI is also looking at making smart glasses and screenless smart speakers. All of these devices are being designed to work as companions, not tools. That's Eve's whole vision, who wants to fix what he sees as the mistakes of past gadgets, especially smartphones, because smartphones pull you into screens constantly. They make you addicted to checking notifications. Eve believes audio-first devices can give you AI help without forcing you to stare at a display. And honestly, the timing here is perfect because the entire tech industry is shifting toward audio right now. Meta just added a feature to their Ray-Ban smart glasses that uses 5 microphones to help you hear conversations in noisy rooms. The glasses can filter out background noise and make the person you are talking to sound louder and clear. That feature is called Conversation Focus and it rolled out in December 2025. Meta also partnered with Spotify so you can point your glasses at something like an album cover and the glasses will play a song from that artist. It's all hands-free, no phone needed. Then there is Tesla. They integrated its AI chatbot Grok directly into Tesla cars starting in July 2025. At first, Grok couldn't control anything in the car. It was just there for conversation. But in December 2025, Tesla added navigation comments. Now you can tell Grok where you want to go using normal language. You can add multiple stops, remove stops, change the order, all without touching the screen. And if you have full self-driving turned on, the car will drive you there automatically. The system runs on Grok 4.1 Fast, which is XAI's newest model. It processes your voice in milliseconds and figures out your intent even if you say something vague like "take me to that Italian place we went to last month." Google is also pushing audio hard. In June 2025, they launched audio overviews in Google Search. It's part of their Labs program right now. So only some users in the US can try it. But the idea is simple. You search for something and Google gives you the option to generate a short audio summary instead of reading text. The audio is around 5 minutes long. It uses Gemini models to create a conversation between two AI hosts who explain the topic in simple language. You get a little clear with pause, volume, and speed controls. And while you are listening, Google shows you links to the original sources so you can click and read more if you want. It takes about 40 seconds to generate the audio after you hit the button. So you have got Meta turning your face into a listening device with smart glasses. Tesla letting you drive by voice. Google turning search results into mini podcasts. And now OpenAI is building an entire hardware ecosystem around audio with the guy who designed the iPhone. The message is clear. Screens are losing, audio is winning. But there is more to this story. Because audio-first devices have failed before, Human AI Pin was supposed to be the next big thing. It was a screenless wearable that clipped onto your shirt. It had a camera, a speaker, and AI inside. The company raised hundreds of millions of dollars, but after it launched, people hated it. It was slow, buggy, and the battery died too fast. The company eventually sold to HP and shut down the product. Then there is the Friend AI pendant. It's a necklace that records your life and talks to you like a companion. But people got creeped out by the privacy issues. And a lot of users said it felt lonely and worried having an AI friend instead of real people. Even companies like Sandberg and Pebble founder Eric Mizikovsky are building AI rings that you wear on your finger. You can talk to the ring and it responds. Those devices are supposed to launch in 2026, but nobody knows if people will actually want to wear them. The problem with all these devices is that they try to replace your phone, and your phone already does everything. So unless the new device is way better at something specific, people won't switch. That's why OpenAI's strategy is different. They are not trying to replace your phone or your laptop. They are calling these devices third one products. That means they are supposed to work alongside your phone and computer. not instead of them. The idea is you use your phone for some things, your laptop for other things, and this new audio device for quick AI help when you are moving around or multitasking. You are cooking and need a recipe, you are walking the dog and want to know the weather, you are driving and need directions. The audio device handles all of that without making you pull out your phone. And the audio model they are building is a huge part of making that work. Because if the AI sounds robotic or takes too long to respond, people won't use it. But if it sounds natural, handles interruptions smoothly, and gives you smart answers fast, then it actually becomes useful. That's why OpenAI is spending so much time getting the audio quality right before they launch the hardware. Now, let's talk about the manufacturing side. According to reports, the first device is being made by Foxconn, the same company that builds iPhones. But OpenAI doesn't want the device made in China, so they are probably building it in Vietnam, where Foxconn also has factories. OpenAI originally picked a different company called Luxshare for manufacturing, but they switched to Foxconn to avoid China. That's a big deal because it shows OpenAI is thinking about supply chain, security, and politics, not just tech. Jony Ive and his team of around 55 people are now working directly inside OpenAI. That team includes former Apple designers like Ivan Hankey and Tantum. These are the people who helped design the iPhone, the Apple Watch, and other major Apple products. So the design quality is going to be extremely high. Ive's design firm Love From is staying independent, but he is spending most of his time at OpenAI now. And according to people who have seen early prototypes, the devices look nothing like anything on the market right now. They are completely new from factors. The other thing to understand is that OpenAI isn't doing this alone. They have major backing. Lauren Powell Jobs, Steve Jobs' widow, invested in IO through her firm Emerson Collective. Other investors include Sutter Hill Ventures, Strive Capital, Maverick Ventures, and SV Angel. So there is a lot of money and high-profile names behind this effort. And OpenAI itself is now valued at $300 billion after their latest funding round. They have the resources to build a real hardware business, not just a side project. But here is where it gets tricky. Building great hardware is hard. Apple spent decades perfecting their supply chain, their manufacturing process, their quality control. OpenAI is starting from scratch. They have Eve and his team, which is a huge advantage. But they still need to figure out manufacturing at scale, customer support, retail distribution, software updates, repairs, returns, all the stuff that makes hardware companies succeed or fail. That's why a lot of people are skeptical. They think OpenAI should stick to software and let other companies build the devices. But Sam Altman clearly believes AI needs new hardware to reach its full potential. He said, AI is such a big leap forward that it needs a new kind of computing form factor. That means he thinks phones and computers aren't enough. You need something designed specifically for AI interaction. And the best way to do that is through voice, not screens. Because voice is faster, more natural, and works when your hands are busy and your eyes are doing something else. Now let's talk about privacy. Because audio devices raise serious privacy concerns. If the device is always listening, who controls the data? Where is it stored? Can hackers access it? Can the government? These are questions people are already asking about smart speakers like Amazon Echo and Google Home. And OpenAI's devices will face the same security. According to OpenAI, the interactions will be processed securely by XAI servers, and conversations will stay private unless you sign in and sync them across devices. But people don't always trust companies with their voice data, especially after past data breaches in connected devices. Then there is the question of whether people even want this. Because a lot of people like screens. They like seeing information visually. They like scrolling, clicking, reading. Audio is great for some things, but it's not always the best option. If you are researching a complex topic, you probably want to read multiple sources and compare them side by side. If you are shopping, you want to see pictures and reviews. If you are working, you need documents and spreadsheets. Audio alone can't replace all of that. But OpenAI isn't trying to replace everything. They are targeting specific moments where audio is better. When you are multitasking, when you are moving, when you need fast answers without stopping what you are doing. And for those moments, an audio-first device makes total sense, especially if it's designed by Jony Ive and powered by the best audio AI model in the world. The other big question is cost. Smart speakers like Amazon Echo sell for around $50 to $100. Meta Ray-Ban glasses cost around $300. If OpenAI's device cost more than $500, a lot of people won't buy it. But if it's priced right and the experience is actually great, it could become a big hit. Especially if OpenAI bundles it with a subscription service. Like you pay $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus and you get the device for free or at a discount. That would make it much easier for people to try. And here is the thing. OpenAI isn't just betting on one device. They're building a family of devices, smart glasses, smart speakers, pens, audio companions, maybe even more. They want to create an entire ecosystem where AI is everywhere, but always in the background, helping you without forcing you to stare at a screen. That's the vision. And if they pull it off, it could genuinely change how we use technology every day. Now let's circle back to the audio model itself, because that's the foundation for everything else. The model is built using reinforcement learning combined with reward models. OpenAI hasn't shared all the details, but based on how their other systems work, they probably trained the model by having it practice conversations millions of times, then rewording it when it sounded natural and penalizing it when it sounded robotic. They also used human feedback to fine-tune the tone, the pricing, and the personality, and they tested it extensively with different accents, different languages, and different noise levels to make sure it works in real-world environments. One of the hardest problems in audio AI is handling overlapping speech. When two people talk at the same time, the AI needs to figure out who is saying what and how to respond. Current systems can't do that well. They either ignore one person or get confused and say something random. The new OpenAI model supposedly fixes that. It can handle interruptions, overlapping voices, and sudden changes in topics without losing track. That's a huge technical achievement, and it's one of the main reasons why OpenAI thinks their audio model will feel way more natural than anything else on the market. Another challenge is latency. If the AI takes too long to respond, the conversation feels awkward. You say something, then you wait 2 seconds, then the AI finally answers. That delay kills the natural flow. OpenAI is apparently optimizing the model to respond in under 300 milliseconds. That's fast enough that it feels instant. For comparison, human reaction time in conversation is around 200 to 300 milliseconds. So if the AI can match that, it feels like talking to a real person. The model also needs to understand context. If you say, take me there, the AI needs to know where there is based on what you said earlier in the conversation. If you say, do it again, the AI needs to remember what you just asked it to do. That requires memory and reasoning, not just speech generation. And OpenAI's new model apparently combines all of these pieces into one system instead of stitching together separate tools. Now let's talk about the competition. Because OpenAI isn't the only company working on advanced audio AI. Google has Gemini models that power their audio overviews and their voice features. Meta has their own voice AI inside Ray-Ban glasses. Amazon is working on next-gen Alexa. Apple is rebuilding their Siri with AI. Microsoft has Copilot voice. Everyone sees audio as the next big interface. So OpenAI needs to move fast if they want to own this space. The advantage OpenAI has is brand recognition and quality. ChatGPT is already the most popular AI assistant in the world. Millions of people use it every day. If OpenAI can make the audio experience feel as good as their text experience, people will trust it. And if they pair that with beautiful hardware designed by Jony Ive, it becomes a premium product that people actually want to own. Not just a cheap gadget they try once and forget about. But the risk is execution. Hardware is way harder than software. You can update software with a click. But if the hardware fails, you are stuck. If the battery dies after 2 hours, people will complain. If the microphone doesn't pick up your voice in noisy places, it won't work. If the speaker sounds bad, nobody will use it. All of these things need to be perfect, and perfection takes time and testing. That's why a lot of tech insiders are watching these launch very closely, because if OpenAI nails it, the whole industry will shift toward audio-first devices. But if they fail, it will be another cautionary tale like human AI pay. The launch timeline is tight. The audio model is coming by the end of March 2026. That's confirmed. But the hardware devices are expected around a year after that. So sometime in late 2026 or early 2027. That gives OpenAI time to test the audio model in the real world, gather feedback, fix bugs, and improve the experience before the hardware launches. It's a smart strategy. Get the software right first, then build the hardware around that. And honestly, the fact that OpenAI is doing all of these so quickly is impressive. They announced the IO acquisition in May 2025. They combined their teams in November 2025. They are launching the audio model in March 2026, and the devices are coming later in 2026. That's less than 2 years from start to finish. For a hardware product, that's insanely fast. Most companies take 3 to 5 years to go from concept to launch. That's where we will wrap it up. One thing I'm curious about now is how Apple and Google will respond to this, because OpenAI is basically entering their territory. Apple owns the premium hardware space, Google owns search and AI, and now OpenAI is trying to compete on both fronts. Drop your thoughts below. Make sure you are subscribed, hit the like button, and I will see you in the next one.